Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And it is Monday in the Rib. Hey, dude, what's up, Gene? Gene's first one in the queue. Hey, Jeff. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I guess at first your weekend flush went bananas about the storm here, so that was good.
Yep.
Everybody's going bananas about the storm, and but you also brought up a rumor of a potential recall
Yes, indeedy, Bob.
of the pathological prevaricator Paul.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you know, there are a lot of people with buyers, well, not buyers remorse. Most of the people that voted him have a vested interest in getting something from him. But there are a lot of people that didn't vote, I think, that are not real happy. And this recent talk of buying Conley for $30 million, it's a school committee sent it over to the city council. Hey, Jimmy. This is outrageous. And I know you and I think on the, we're thinking the same thing. You and I had a discussion, and I said, as soon as I said it, as soon as that thing hit the city council chamber, now I know why Kadeem wanted to lift a $20 million cap.
Oh, yeah, no question about it.
I don't care what anybody says. I know that somebody told you it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit on that one. That's bullshit. Here we go again. Now, you and I had to suffer through months, literally months, of listening to Paul Coogan lie about how schools help people get educated and how it's going to be a wonderful thing, and we're not going to be paying anything at the end of the 8 years when we finally kicks in. Well, we're paying. It didn't help our educational system. It is a mess. And let me tell you something. I'm not for this at all. $30 million. And somebody said, apparently that Coogan said, well, we're going to sell the Argosy school. What are you going to sell it for, Paul? To one of your friends for $2,000 or $5,000? So we're still $25 million in the hole? That's horse shit. Don't give me that. Listen, council, and I know you're going to vote for it because you're in on it. That's why 8 of you voted to remove the cap. You're in the tank. You're looking to be the next corrupt government for Fall River when Coogan steps away. You can't negotiate your way out of a freaking paper bag. This city's getting crushed with debt. And you're going to spend $30 million on a school, and we're going to listen to the same shit. Oh, the kids, this will help. We're going to do this. Help shit. We're always at the bottom. We spend a lot of money on pay raises and buildings, and our educational system's been in a toilet for decades. You can't negotiate for shit. Council, you want me to give you a little negotiating tip that'll help the taxpayers?
Say
but
no.
You won't do it. Tell Paul Coogan this. You show me a purchase and sales agreement for the Argosy school for $30 million, and we'll let you buy that because we know it's going to be a wash and the taxpayers aren't going to get killed. We're going to get our ass kicked on this one again. We haven't even gotten bit in the ass by Diamond yet, and they're buying something else. This is nuts. It is nuts. Yeah, that's all they know how to do, James. Democrats, all they know how to do is make excuses and spend money. Oh yeah, that's irresponsible to actually give people more money to spend and improve the economy. Yeah, that's look at the Cabbage Patch Kid that we call a governor. She's as out of touch with reality as the rest of these people. It's like Gavin Newsom, highest income taxes, highest homelessness, highest drug addictions, highest everything in California. $18 billion train that never even got built, doesn't even exist. Dirt mounds, not even a foot of track. And he wants to be the president. He wants to make everything like California. Well, we're not going to have a United States. Everybody's going to be bankrupt because this is nuts.
Well, back to the $30 million school. I had conversations with school committee members and with city councilors. Plural, plural, plural. And according to the school committee, Paul tried to sell this by saying, we will sell the old Atlantis Charter School. He didn't say it that way. He said 1501 South Main Street. Because we won't need it anymore, because with the Conley, we'll have more than enough room. So it's worth the $30 million investment. Plus, he said, we're going to get 80% reimbursed from the state. Who do you think you're jerking off, Paul? Okay? Because let me tell you something. The state has never given an 80% reimbursement. Even on the MSBA, when they bought for the new Durfee, they gave us 57% on a new construction. On a new construction. And you want them to give you 80% for a rehab? Do you think I'm like a fucking idiot? Do I look like I fell off the turnip truck last night?
Well, the irony of what you're saying, CJ, there you go with facts again. I can't, Paul can't stand it. But isn't it amazing that now Paul has become a great financial genius?
I
the guy that
know.
said, I don't know anything about money. Now he's got somebody whispered in his ear, Paul, this is what you got to say. And listen, I've been in that building hundreds of times. When I was on a job, we used to get box alarms at that place all the time. And we had to go look and go throughout that building looking for issues. That building you're not going to get $30 million for that building.
No.
That building, you can't use it for anything. That thing's a maze of tunnels. If you've ever been in that building, you got to walk down, through, around, and it's a bunch of interconnected hallways and corridors. What are you going to use that building for? Virtually nothing. You know what? Somebody will buy that for to bulldoze it and maybe build something on it. But what are they going to build it for, Rubber? What do we need? It's not going to be something that's going to make money because in your weekend flush, you talked about another business that's leaving Massachusetts because of the shit hole this place is. And, Cape Cod Chips is no longer going to be making Cape Cod chips in Massachusetts. They're bailing out.
That's right.
So we're going to have a potato chip named after Massachusetts that doesn't do it. But this $30 million fiasco, it's like, this is virtually the definition of insanity. It is like doing the same thing over again. Paul pulled this shit with Durfee.
Right.
He lied about everything. It's going to improve it. Oh, the building's going to improve education. And what did we say when we had to painfully go there? And
buildings don't
educate children. Oh, yeah, but it's going to help. The educational environment's going to help. That's horse shit. The welcoming environment.
They're doing worse now than they were in the old Durfee.
I know. Yeah, the welcoming environment didn't help either. Nothing helps except good education. Spend your money on education. Then he said, oh, don't worry about the money. It's not going to cost you anything. It's costing us. He said that it would be paid for. We wouldn't be paying a dime.
And we
that
still
was
are.
A freaking lie from the beginning. They're lying about this. They're going to put us $30 million in a debt. And Kadeem, I heard, got the shit kicked out of him on a Saturday. We Suck It more than ever on radio on Sunita's show. A lot of people called in and kicked the shit out of him for his abusive freaking tone and condescending attitude, and justifiably so. Now you know why they wanted to withdraw it. I don't care if they say, we didn't know anything about this. It had nothing to do with it. You know something? Like you said, I may have been...
I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I may have been born at night, but it wasn't last night.
That's right.
So don't try to give me that shit. You knew you were going to exceed the limit right out of the gate. As soon as the term started, you're going to exceed the ordinance. You people are so freaking corrupt, it's incredible.
So, after I heard everything from the school committee members, plural, I went to the city council members. And one of them told me I couldn't do the walkthrough that they did, but I'm going to look into it more. I didn't know if I was being jerked off or fucked.
Or both.
Or both. I wasn't even getting a reach around in that one. Okay? Then I spoke with another city councilor who was very familiar with what was going on and said with certainty that the cap on borrowing was not removed because of this deal.
I don't believe it.
I said, I don't believe it. I said, and neither do the people of Fall River. I said, as a matter of fact, if push comes to shove, you know what we should do as a people? We should put together a citizen's petition to limit the city council spending to $5 million. That means everything you do has to go to the voters. I guess it's time for town form of government, isn't it?
I guess it is, CJ.
And you know what I was told? Well, you can do that. I said, yeah, we can do that. Guess what? You've been trying to get type B type government through for a while. We're still waiting.
Apparently, the only people that can do it are the people. It's true. But you know something? Listen, they can try to feed you that line of crap.
I know.
All you want. You're not going to listen. They talk about there's really no such thing as coincidence. You're not going to tell me this is the greatest coincidence in the history of the world. Now they went through this shit of pulling this thing back. Right at the end of these people's terms, and they're going. They got no dog in a fight, except maybe getting a job at the housing authority. You know, but they had nothing to gain. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, then they told, oh, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not. And then virtually in the first month after the new council and school committee gets seated, they spend more than the ordinance that they repealed. They're asking to spend more. Actually, 50% more. It was 20 million. Now they're looking at 30 million. I mean, come on. You know, you realize how dumb they think we are? They really think we're stupid. And I'm telling you, they should actually recall everybody. Except maybe the only guy that voted against this thing. This is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I can't believe it. I just can't. And there's an old saying. You know, if you're going to piss on my head, extend me the courtesy of not trying to convince me it's raining. You're pissing on our heads here. You're going to tell us that it had nothing to do with it. It was just a coincidence that they're going to spend $30 million.
Exactly, Gene.
No, you're right. Of course he knew. They all knew.
That's
but
right.
It had nothing to do with it, Gene. We're all conspiracy theorists. But yeah, you know, I mean, this is nuts. This is not $30 million. Oh, don't worry about it. Sean Kadeem. Yeah, this is Seekonk. Well, let Seekonk pay for the fucking thing. Okay? Get them to float us a loan. Sell it to Seekonk. Sell the old school to Seekonk. Get somebody of Seekonk investors to come over here, Sean. This is horseshit. I mean, this is nuts. Like $31,000 per capita income is blowing 30 million. It's like that, and they cavalier attitude. Oh, shut up. You know, what do you expect us to have a public meeting? Maybe we should. Maybe that's why Westport voted down Diamond. At least they have. They can look at themselves in the mirror and say, we said no to this fiasco. Now we're going to get hammered with a bill. We didn't even get the vote on a freaking thing. So this is how bad our government is. Remember, we didn't get the vote. Now they're going to have us vote on whether we need an override or how we're going to pay it. We haven't hit that tab yet, and they're dumping another $30 million. I wonder what developer and what bank is doing all the financing. That might deserve a real hard look. Because I'll tell you something, I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. You know what this is? CJ, I'm on the verge of tears now. You know what they're making for us? A hostile environment.
That's right, it's a hostile environment.
I can't take this. I want this put into the record. Come on, put it in a record. Put it in a record. I want it, Kenny. I want you. It's a hostile environment. I can't take it anymore. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. No, yeah. And listen, Coogan doesn't give two shits about how much we get killed because he's got that little tiny Bobby townhouse that he bought strictly to run in the city of Fall River again for school committee and now become mayor because it was all in a big master plan. He's gone. There are people that say he doesn't even live there now. I got people that live on that street that observe that house 24/7 and said he's virtually never there. There are rumors that he has another house somewhere else, maybe not under his name at this point in time. Nobody ever sees his wife going in and out of that house, and we have eyes on that house all the time.
Exactly.
He's not staying in Fall River. He's going to bury this city and bail, laughing all the way to the bank. You know?
I wonder if he shoveled his sidewalks. He wants everyone else to do it. Did he shovel his sidewalks?
Oh, he did. Somebody did it. There's a pact there. They
oh, okay, good.
I checked. Yeah. That's his go-to coping mechanism. Some people laugh nervously. It's called inappropriate affect in psychology, like people laughing at a funeral. You know, but this is Coogan's default. He tries to make everything into a joke. The more difficult it is, the more he starts snickering and laughing or making some inappropriate joke like, shut up, you don't live here. You live in public housing or go buy a house. Yeah, we're overreacting. Of course we are. I mean, I was getting around better a week after the blizzard of 78 than I'm getting around now in Fall River. And we had 28 inches of snow. Not 16, 28. But you said it in the weekend floods, CJ. You talked about them not being able to get plow drivers. You know, you can't expect the city to be plowed when you can't get anybody to work for it. Nobody wants to work for the city. They don't pay their bills. They don't do anything. They want you to take extra insurance. You're right, Linda. Very, very good adjective. Despicable. That's right. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's despicable what they're doing to the people of Fall River. And you know something? I wish them luck with the recall. I will sign the petition. Just tell me where you're going to have a signing. I'll go down and I'll sign it.
I'll sign the petition too. So, but you'll notice nobody approached us.
Yeah.
And they think it's that easy. So you know what? You think it's easy?
Well, it was easy for the people that followed us. It was easy for them to get the thing, but they didn't win it. We did. And
Right.
the key was because they had a guy on the federal indictment. They didn't have a man that had been elected by 75%
Right.
in his third term. But, I wish them luck. But I don't believe – I had a conversation about that with somebody, and I said, look, I don't believe – if they want to run a recall, that's fine. Maybe.
I told the city council, I said, while they're putting together a recall for Paul Coogan, they should put one together for Sean Kadim.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that. That'd be interesting to see. Wouldn't it?
And yeah, yeah, that's right. But I think that, as I think Gene said before, there's then the big rumor that Cliff's going to become acting mayor, and then he's going to run for mayor, and we're gonna have the city, but you run by Batman and Robin. So I don't know if that, by the time you get that recall, Coogan may be stepping down anyway. So it's a lot. Believe me, you have no idea how much work it is, because it's not going to be you just get the signatures. They're going to fight you on the signatures. You're going to have to go in front of you're going to have to go in front of Ryan Lyons and the Board of Elections like we did. You have to have a lawyer. I had to go before the Board of Elections and sit there with the rest of the people sitting behind me. And we had to go to the Board of Elections. Then we had to go to court. And when we went to court in New Bedford on it, it cost me an accident. Some guy got off the highway. I was on 140, lost his brakes, and parlayed me. I was late for court because I was going to New Bedford court. I got hit going to testify in court. And it's not easy. They're going to make it as difficult as possible. I wish you all the luck in the world. But like I said, I'm not sure if it's even, you guys may have the recall and he may step down. But then again, if the recall does go through, we can just have an election. That's it. Have a recall election. And we'll, rather than put Cliffy in, let's have an election. So I don't know. There's always two sides to the coin. But what's happening here is outrageous. You're not going to tell me this is a coincidence. Please stop trying to urinate on my head.
And
This
James,
is not a coincidence.
And James, the recall provision that's in the charter is the exact same recall provision that was put in state law. The problem is, and Mike Mayoza was told this, Chris Bartley was told this, the whole charter commission was told this, you need to rewrite that provision because it's flawed. They copied it word for word, so they carried over the flaw.
And it was intentional.
When you got fucktards writing these things, you get fucked up laws.
Well, no.
I'm sorry I'm in an F mood today, but I'm so aggravated. My phone did not stop blowing up.
I don't blame you, CJ. And let's remind everybody, when they were talking about repealing that, we said there was something in the works, didn't we?
Right.
We said it on this show. We said there's something, they got something planned.
Right.
And here it is.
This is the first of many, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if Kenny Fiola's going to be the broker on that one,
That'll be interesting to see.
Be interesting. Yeah, this is crazy. $30 million. It's like they talk about money like it's pennies, and it's like, oh yeah, like Kadim's so cavalier, like just have another bond. We can bond, and we can do that. We can do shit, and you don't care. You're making 200 G's a year now. You can move out of Florida anytime you want. Some people can't. They're the people that those are the people you're supposed to represent, the people that are making $31,000 and $53,000 as a household, not your pals. So now we're going to get the rich. When Coogan said it was my rich developer friends, my lawyer friends, my banker friends, he has to now add my restaurateur friends. Yeah, we should learn what the word for that is in Klingon. So we can use.
Get blocked.
Yeah, we'll make something up. We'll have to go back to the old Star Trek episodes to find out what it is, but we're getting it. I can tell you. We're getting bent over big time. Yeah. Yeah, the master negotiator. We got nothing. And Johnston, Rhode Island got out with millions of dollars worth of shit. And Johnston, Rhode Island's got like 25,000 people in it. And
That's right.
They got an Amazon and they got all kinds of shit. Oh yeah, but speaking of
that one, according to Al Oliveira, liar extraordinaire, piece of crap that he is, he says there's no asbestos in the building. Now, I'm going to turn to an expert on that building. Somebody who used to live in that building. Chip Camara?
Well, listen, I do not know, and they have to ask the people and the president of the unit if they did a real authorized mitigation that would comply with EPA regulations. But when I lived in that building, there was a lot of asbestos in that building and the Globe station and virtually every station in the city of Fall River. And when he said he didn't even go into the basement, I have a difficult time trusting.
Well, what's interesting is he made that comment to the press that there is no asbestos in that building. Yet, according to a city councilor, the test results have not come back yet. So, whose ass is he blowing it out of?
And who's doing the testing?
That's right.
No, you're right. No, yeah. Yeah.
You would know, yeah. Jimmy, you were there.
Yeah.
Chip was there. It's not like you guys didn't see
there was asbestos when we were there. I don't know what the hell I don't know what building they're talking about, but then, now has that building ever been totally mitigated? I don't believe so. No. I would stand, if they have, why don't they produce the paperwork? Yeah, and I spent a lot of time at the Globe.
And remember, if they had mitigated that building per code, they would have shut the building down. It would have been tented, okay? And it would have cost us millions of dollars to get rid of it.
And they would have a certificate to prove.
And they would have a certificate. That's right.
But they don't.
That's right.
That's all I got to do. Remember, this is the administration of you're not going to pay for Durfee, and we're paying, and you don't worry about it. And this is the council we got now, and hopefully this council will say to Paul, that's a big debt. You're going to have to show us where you can. Let's not take the word of somebody saying, well, we're looking at investments down the road.
That's right.
Well, we might be looking at sales of a building down the road. Do you really think you're going to get $30 million for that building? No way. Paul's going to give that away. If they're ever going to get rid of it, they're going to give it away to one of his friends like they gave away to Duval School.
That's right.
I mean, Jesus, wake up. It's really, you think you're getting irritated. I mean, this is outrageous. I mean, these people, from day one, they've been giving us the finger. It's like, screw you. You elected us now, you're screwed. We're in charge. They call the Republicans Nazis and authoritarians. These people do whatever the hell they want with our tax money. They don't give two shits. Kadim's like, oh, the hell with the town. What do you want us to have a town meeting? Well, constitutionally, you're supposed to. Ask us. Be answerable to us.
Let me tell you something. Bitch, piss, and moan all they want, the Democrats. But let's have a little history lesson here. In 1996, Chuck Schumer, douchebag extraordinaire, lobbied for immigration reform. And it was signed into law by Slick Willie Clinton. that allowed for the deportation of illegals without a trial. They called it expedited deportation. Expedited deportation. The Democrats did it. Under Obama, he deported more people than Trump has. Clinton deported more people than Trump has. But that's a problem. Why? Because the Republicans doing it now.
Yeah. Well, that's the way they all do it. Listen, if they didn't lie, they would never speak. They would be like mutes. Because that's all they do. And you're right. You know? No, you're right, Michelle. You're not going to get any argument with me. They should have knocked all those buildings down. Look at 35 years ago, 40, I don't know, 30, 40, 25, well, not 24, probably at least 30. I proposed to build 3 new fire stations in Fall River with federal money assistance that would be located to allow us to run with just 3 stations, have additional manpower on every apparatus, because we would go down to 3 task forces from FOA to cover the city and be adequately covered. And it was supported by a document and a study done by the International Association of Firefighters on response times. And you know what they did with it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's sitting in the drawer with the progressive disciplinary policy.
Exactly. They threw it in the circular file.
That's right.
All they care about is they're gonna rebuild on a spot. The Central Fire Station is in a terrible location. It's in the center of the city. Firefighting now, they try to get the stations on the outside, like a wheel, to run in. That way, when they leave the station, there's no downtown traffic, there's no traffic jams. They're going into the congested areas, but at least they're going to get there quicker. They're not going to be stuck in traffic for 5 minutes before they even hit an artery that they can move on. Look, they never use the science. They never use the data. All they do is make up shit so their friends can get rich. Oh, let the taxpayer pay. I'll get one of my friends to get the contract in business. We'll get the insurance. Oh, I don't watch that shit. Yeah, all they did, and ICE, and they're the bad guys now. But there are pictures of the Obama administration taking out illegals at gunpoint from their home and separating them from their children. And
imagine that.
In 1996, they passed legislation that said they can expedite them.
That's right.
Their removal from this country. But the Democrats all have political amnesia. They forgot what they said 10 minutes ago. If it suits their policy, they call themselves. They had a reprehensible picture on X of a concentration camp, and somebody photoshopped that little boy that was left out by his father, who left him alone. And they're still trying to make hay of that. It was one of the most reprehensible.
He keeps denying that he abandoned his child.
And it shows that child staring through a fence at a young Jewish child. May not have been Jewish because they had other people in it. A young child in the striped uniform of a concentration camp, applying that. And I got so pissed off, I wrote a response to it. I said, you are a nothing more than a pile of excrement. I said, what that picture demeans and diminishes the horrors of the Holocaust. And I said, my father donated pictures to the National Holocaust Museum because he was a soldier that liberated those camps. And I said, and using that picture and trying to say that the air conditioned freaking places with cafeterias and playrooms for the kids is like the Holocaust makes you nothing more than a fucking scumbag. That's what I posted. And that's what I feel. These Democrats are reprehensible. They're calling for murders. They're spraying shit like the only good ICE agents are dead ICE agents. Are all of them good? No. But you don't paint with that brush. Only the Democrats do. Condemn everybody. Everybody that's a Republican, everybody that's MAGA, everybody that's a conservative is no good. That's the way they operate. They had that idiot from Massachusetts on, Moulton. He got butchered. He got trapped. He said, why are you generalizing? Oh, what do you mean? Yeah, those pictures are horrifying. I have pictures. If somebody wants to see pictures, I got copies. They sent me the copies back. It took me about 5 or 7 years to get them back from them. And
But you got them. But you got them.
I got them. And I got the one picture. I got the actual original photo of the picture my father wrote on the back of. And they're horrifying things. If you want to, anybody who denies the Holocaust, you can just call me. I will provide you with photographic evidence. And I still have the camera that my father took from a German officer to take those pictures.
And then you'll slap the shit out of him, right?
Then I'll slap the shit out of him. That's right. But I mean, it's just what they do is just it's beyond. They're sick people. They made look like that Moulton got butchered, and Haney told him, well, you said all these ICE agents are cowards. They're not cowards. Well, they cover their face. Well, they're covering their face so they don't go after their families. The Mexican police, he didn't say this, but the Mexican police cover their face all the time because the cartels will kill their families. These people will go to their homes and murder their families and think it's fine because to them the law is you can't kill them, but they can kill anybody that disagrees with them. Therein lies the problem that they're mental defectives. And Hannity butchered him, and he said, "Well, in the Marines, blah." Well, but I got to give Hannity a little point the next time I tell him, "Listen, Sean, you had your opportunity there. What you should have said to him was, there have been Marines and soldiers and police officers and everybody and regular people who have committed heinous crimes, rapes, murders, and they should be prosecuted." But everybody you don't condemn the entire Marine Corps because they had a Marine that did something that was heinous. The majority of Marines are good. They are people that are putting on a uniform in their country, and they are proud of being a Marine. Just like people are proud of being in a Navy. So, it's like police. Is every police officer perfect? No. Nobody, and he said, why don't you just say the ones who do something wrong should be punished, and I'll agree with you. But you have to condemn everybody. That's what the Democrats do. That's what's caused this mess. And it's not in the whole country. Think about it. It's in Minneapolis. It's in Portland. Yeah, it's in Seattle, where all the Looney Tunes are. And half of the people demonstrating are professional activists. They're being paid by Soros and that other Indian guy that's living in China. You got a communist financing these people. And it's okay to kill people. It's not okay to kill people. That's why we have laws. But he wouldn't say it. He never, ever backed off that position. And Annie said, did you ever say anything about Jocelyn Nungary? Do you want to talk about this? Is this murder? Let it be investigated. But you don't condemn every single person that wears a badge because we got a bad cop or some firefighter did something wrong. You don't condemn every firefighter. Do I take this personally? Yes. While I was the president of the union, I buried 5 firefighters who died in the line of duty. 5 during my career of my own. And I went to literally hundreds of funerals for other firefighters who died in the line of duty. Worcester. We had buses going to Worcester. You don't condemn an entire profession because of what one does. Only freaking Democrats do that. That's why I hate them now. You tell me you're a Democrat, I tell you, I don't want to talk. You just leave because you can't argue with stupid. And if you're still a Democrat and are proud of what this party is doing, you need psychological attention. Yeah, no, you're right. Cops wear masks in undercover operations because of the cartels, and yeah. Yeah, and if you look at what the rest of the country's done because they've cooperated with law enforcement, we have the lowest murder rate in history. That's saying something. We got a lot more guns around than they did, 100 years ago, but we have the lowest murder rate in history. And that's with factoring in some of these places that have extremely high murder rates, but per capita, we have the lowest. But that's with Chicago. Who's Chicago run by? Democrats. D.C. Who was D.C. run by? Democrats. New York City. Democrats. Baltimore. Democrats. Detroit. Democrats. You see a theme showing itself here? And why does it keep going? Because, like you said, James, they let them out of jail. Cops arrest them. I don't know how people could be police officers in those states. You lock up some scumbag, and he goes and they let him out. 2 days later, you see him walking down South Main Street or some shit like that, and they let him out. The guy that burnt the person on the subway. One stabbed a woman in the neck. An immigrant, a legal immigrant, not an illegal, a legal immigrant, stabbed her to death, a Ukrainian woman, I believe. I don't know, 40-some convictions, 40-some arrests. The other one that committed, they've all got like multiple arrests, and some of them for dangerous crimes, felonies. I don't know. That guy's probably out again. Who knows? If they're in a blue state, probably so. I don't know. The country is, fortunately, the rest of the country, you wonder why so many people are leaving the state of Massachusetts? You know why so many people are leaving California and New York? They're right, every place, anybody who can afford it is bailing out of these places. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
You know what's interesting is a state representative proposed dropping the state tax rate from 5 to 4%. Maura Healey had a stroke. We can't afford that. No, we can't afford you, Maura Healey.
That's right. Well said. That's
okay.
True. We can't afford Paul Coogan. Her and Paul are the same.
That's right.
Cabbage Patch Kids. Yep. We can't afford the Cabbage Patch Kids. I don't
mean to be stereotypical, but she's more expensive than diesel fuel.
I'm going to make you guys a promise. On Wednesday's show, I'm pulling out of the archives one of the old purple bag recall shirts.
I've got one here.
I have one too. I saved one as a souvenir.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is just, it's a sad commentary on what the hell is going on, because you can't justify what they're doing. I don't care what they say. And like I said, nobody deserves to be shot for what he did. Maybe that's true. And that guy might have overreacted. But let me say something. Police officers and these agents have to me, that's why I never took the job. I would have shot people a long time ago. Because if I think my life is in jeopardy, they're going first. There's no decision making in mine. In the military, I was taught, when in doubt, kill them all. Let God sort them out. I could never be a police officer. Not somebody yelled gun, gun, somebody made a panic. Is it right? No. But these people are not trained. They're not in, and that Moulton is trying to compare when he was in Iraq. Oh, I didn't wear a mask when he was shooting maybe in Iraq. Well, yeah, you're in a war. You don't have to wear a mask. They know you're the enemy, and you know they're the enemy. Over here, if they find out who you are, they're going to kill your family. It's different. It's like Mexican police. These people are nuts. They make no sense at all with anything they say. Police officers are not riot police. You have to be specially trained for that. They're dealing with riots. They're not dealing with law enforcement. You know, taking down one suspect. You try to take down one suspect and you're attacked by 50 or 100. That's an untenable situation. How they do it without more, I don't know. Then I had some idiot argue with me on exit. She didn't, if she would have tried to run him down, she would have run him down. Well, she hit him. She veered off. She would have turned the wheels. She was turning the wheel. Yeah. Who knows? Panic, second thoughts, but that's irrelevant. She's trying to mow somebody down with a car. They tell you to use your cars. They told people to drive at people. They told people they're bringing guns. The guy brought a gun. Now, was deadly force necessary? I don't know. I'll let the experts determine that because, like I said, that's why I could never be a cop. I don't know about you guys, but if it's me or them, it's them. Always. That's why you can't. I respect those guys. I don't know how they can do it because their lives are in jeopardy every day they're on a street. Police officers, ICE, these guys are going into these situations with drug dealers and criminals and with warrants out on their arrest, and they gotta hesitate because they have constraints about deadly force. It's not a war. Maybe Moulton should realize that. It's not a war. Over there, you shot those people. There are rules of engagement, but if you're in a battle, you don't have to worry about it. You're going to shoot everybody. And these people are crazy. They're just, and they've poisoned the minds of the people. That's it. Yeah, well.
What's interesting is, I just read it, the protesters are now all putting on red hats. Do you know why they're putting on red hats? Because in Nazi Germany, the resistance wore red hats. So they're comparing Minneapolis, to Nazi Germany. Why didn't you do that under Obama? Why didn't you do that under Clinton? I don't know. Makes it for an interesting time. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering where Linda Pereira was for the city council meeting, she was in Florida again. She went to Florida to get away from the cold, but guess what? It was cold. And it's still cold down there. My daughter just got back. It was 26 degrees in Orlando. 26 degrees in Orlando. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And
I know, 20-something. When my son was down there at a conference in Miami, it was 80, and Orlando was 20-something. Yeah. But now it's down in the 30s in Miami.
Right.
It's even reached Miami.
Right.
But he's back now.
It's very interesting when you see this shit. Okay? Because Linda, if you remember, the first city council meeting, wanted changes in the schedule. Here's my solution. Like it or not, here's my solution. You miss a city council meeting, you get docked your pay. You miss a subcommittee meeting, you get your pay docked. You don't like it? Tough shit. If you don't show up in the private sector, you don't get paid. Why should she get paid for not showing up at a city council meeting or a subcommittee meeting? She shouldn't. Neither should any of the other 8. You don't show up, you don't get paid. That's simple.
That's right.
But
they don't want to hear it, CJ.
Is that too much to ask for? Accountability?
Well,
CJ, you're an ass.
You know what they do? They go like this. Nah, 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 nah. I don't want to hear you.
I
Oh, wait a
know.
minute. You're asking me a question? It's a hostile environment. Leave me alone. I'm going to
That's
have a
right.
nervous breakdown. That's what they all do
I
because this
know.
is what they're all snowflakes.
Yep.
It's like that's what they do. Like when you begin to win an argument, that's why I don't go online a lot. Because when you win an argument, what do? They block you.
Yep.
Then they talk about everything, so you can't correct them and lie their asses off. This is the
I've been
problem.
blocked by many people.
That's
And
right.
guess
I've
what?
been blocked by big. Yeah, I just got blocked on X. I'm proud. I had some Canadian talking about Ray Good, and I kept correcting everything he said. And I called him a delusional Democrat. He said, I'm not a Democrat. I don't even live in the United States. And now you're blocked. Shit, you're going to block me because now I'm going to write you back. I don't care what fucking country you live in. You're acting like a Democrat. You're an asshole. So,
Right.
well, now I can't say that, but I said it on the air. So if you're
There you
watching
go.
in Canada,
That's
fuck
what works.
you. Right.
That's what works. I'm telling you.
The welcome environment. You're right. I love that. That was the most profound example I have ever seen of incompetence. When a superintendent of one of the most underperforming school systems in the state tells you her priority is shit like DEI and a welcoming environment over elevating the educational attainment level of the students in that school, she does not belong in that job. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I hope you school committeemen that are watching are listening to me. She does not belong in that job. That statement alone should mean she should be terminated.
I agree.
This is what Massachusetts wants to teach: DEI and spend money. That's all they know how to do.
That's it.
A welcoming environment. No, I want an environment that when my kids who did go to Durfee, they both graduated with honors and both went to college, but they took all the advanced courses and stuff like that. But I mean, it's now gotten to the point where, that we those are not the kids you're going to worry about. The kids that are high attainment students will attain. It's the average student that needs enough education to get a decent job when they get out. You can't be graduating high school students that read at the fourth grade level, the eighth grade level, the seventh grade level, can't do math, and expect them to be able to function in the world. They can't. What are they going to be? Pimps? Drug dealers? I don't know. When they're functional illiterates.
How about a school system that won't let you fail a student? You can't fail them. Teachers are instructed. Do not fail a student.
Yeah.
Give them a D.
Yeah.
How
So
can
we're fundamentally graduating functional illiterates. And James, you're right. DEI. So an average kid from an average Fall River family, that's reverse discrimination. They're being discriminated against because they're white.
That's right.
So poor white kids don't qualify.
That's right.
I mean, it's a shame. Look, you know how bad it's gotten, CJ? Harvard, the great Harvard, the
Harvard. I got to park my
now,
car.
they are now Harvard Yard. Harvard is now offering remedial courses.
Yeah.
Imagine being accepted to Harvard and have to take a remedial course to take college level. I mean, what does that say about their admissions? Their admissions is based on DEI, not on educational proficiency. Because in the old days, you couldn't get into Harvard unless you had basically a straight A average.
And remember, Harvard also started restricting access to people who were not Asian, because Asians are too smart.
Yeah, well, and it's not that they're too smart. It's that they're well educated, because when you go to a school in Japan or in China, you're going to learn, because that's what those schools are there for, to teach you. Not to freaking have you dancing around chanting free Palestine and shit like that. They're there to educate. I got a video of a Japanese school where they showed, they're virtually sitting at attention. They give them breaks and stuff, but they learn. I mean, it's a travesty. They've wrecked, and Joe McCarthy said it in the 1950s when he was a senator. He said they're going to kill this country. He said the liberals are going to take over the colleges, brainwash the kids, and they're going to be supported by the movie industry and the rich. And who did they get supported by?
He's right.
Remember, they crucified McCarthy because he started the blacklist of Hollywood actors.
That's right. I remember that. That's the history don't teach anymore.
That's the history don't teach. Nearly 75 years ago, he predicted that they would brainwash these idiots into being the idiots that they are. So now, in the dictionary, under the definition of idiot, they're going to remove the written definition and have a picture of Chuck Schumer.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. Call your city councilors. Tell them to vote no on $30 million for the Conley. And remind Andrew Raposo he can't vote or talk on it. He can't open his mouth. Keep your big fat mouth shut, Andrew, when it comes to that issue. It's an ethical violation. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you again on Wednesday. Have a great day.